Emergency response Liberty County has gotten itself into hot water lately, or an emergency response was needed. As you all know, emergency response Liberty County is a paid game and costs around 50 Robux at this time, which was a response to the drama that's been going on recently with Metaverse Champions. Metaverse Champions is the brand new event that's been going on with Roblox and essentially acts like the egg hunt, promoting participants to collect boxes for their team they wish to root for, or they can root for all the teams by collecting such packages. Now, there's this one team known as AJ Striker. Emergency Response Liberty County was on this team, and they weren't changing their status to free due to multiple responses. This caused outrage in the community in the RTC, which I complied with thread on the RTC account about the drama. People are angry, and the developers have tried their best to do damage control, but ultimately it's too late for that. Deleted tweets everywhere, responses from developers, and a lot of conflicting opinions here. Some people believe that it's Roblox's fault for letting the event be paid. Others think that it's the developers' fault for letting their game participate, knowing it would affect the scores of the event. I'll explain why it affects the scores of the event later in this video in a thread, knowing the teams are imbalanced. The fact that it's the first day and there's already drama is absolutely buck wild in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts down below, respectfully, and what do you think should happen? Should it stay free for the week, or should it be paid to make sure of restrictions? We'll learn more as we go through this video. Buckle up, honey, because this is a crisis in the Roblox community, and could possibly make the event biased according to some people. My name is TanookiAlex, and this is our Roblox drama series, where we get right into the Roblox news, drama, tips, and tricks, and more. Let's get started. What's up, Hinders Squad, and welcome back to another video. Before we get started in today's video, make sure to subscribe for this Roblox drama, news, tips, and tricks, and more. Don't forget to turn on the bell so you never miss out on the latest. We'll be having a live stream later today after this video, so be sure to check that out if you can. We'll be handing out free MVP boxes and much more in Metaverse Champions. Let's get started with our story now. Emergency Response Liberty County is a game developed by Mr. Fergie, which you can choose your story. You can choose to be the crime, or you can choose to run it. However, the issue is that it is paid. So the developers tweeted out this: Emergency Response Liberty County will be featured in the upcoming Roblox event Metaverse Champions. You'll be able to collect AJ Striker's mystery box by completing a list of tasks in ERLC. We will be in week 1 of the event starting April 15th. Hashtag Metaverse Champions, hashtag Roblox. However, when the event was not free to play, this made others wonder, why is a paid access game in a free event, therefore causing a disadvantage? This tweet immediately gained controversy, with players saying, why are you in an event? This makes AJ Striker only have 11 out of 12 badges, therefore making it unfair. The developers switched multiple times in the responses, and this was not a good look. Their first response said that it was now deleted. ELRC is not going free at this time. The event includes 180 different games. There are 12 different games in which you can earn each item from. Being paid access does not hinder the event. There was no requirement regarding paid access for games submitted, which to many replied that they should make it free despite the requirements, and that this was an issue on Roblox's end, because Roblox allowed the event to happen despite it being paid. And despite all this, Roblox's response on their team in a forum post along with the Emergency Response Liberty County team, which on Roblox RTC says, Update. Staff Emergency Response Liberty County have responded. Text reads, we've talked to Roblox staff about our game being paid access in the event. They say it's perfectly fine for the game to be paid access and that it's not affecting the champion scores. However, here's why this doesn't add up. By around 1/12 in advantage, which we are seeing the numbers be unfair. So okay, even if it's not by much, it's clear that Emergency Response Liberty County is having an effect by a decent number of badges on the AJ Striker team. Roblox may say there's not a problem, but here's why this doesn't add up. First off, look at Bloxy News, RTC, and Roblox News polls. 75% of the vote went to AJ Striker, the AJ Striker team. So, massive YouTubers encouraged AJ Striker like Creecraft. Why isn't he in first? The answer is accessibility. Challenges are easier on Sparks Kilowatt than AJ Striker, and even if it's by a small number, this is still having an effect. 11 out of 12 badges are being able to obtain for free on AJ Striker's team, hence causing a small but noticeable loss. Games chosen for AJ Striker are also a tad harder. Therefore, Sparks is in first. The developer's response to not being ELRC free was absolutely awful, saying that they can't go free because of their dislikes and then flip-flopping their response a lot. If you can't take dislikes on your game and join an event that is supposed to be publicly accessible, there's absolutely no point of having your game on the internet. In a now deleted thread as why they can't go free, the developers explain that free players would dislike the game. However, dislikes happen. I've experienced dislikes too. This puts AJ Striker's team at an advantage that is already at a disadvantage by week 1 at even worse, because now players can only complete 11 out of 12 badges, which 1 out of 12 adds up if you look at the numbers in my thread. There is around 1/12 of the difference from this, and therefore this may be tiny, but look how close they are. If another game was added, I guarantee you it would be more fair. But to the developers' response, they have reduced the game, and also provided another response from Roblox staff, which reads, Mr. Fergie. We've talked with Roblox staff about the event team from our game being paid access in the event. They say, adding on to this, it's exactly fine to be paid to affecting the champion. After more talks with Roblox staff, they've acknowledged that it was an oversight on their part to not ask if paid games were paid access. I agree that this is something that should be thought about. They're also saying that they're trying to understand that not every single one of the 180 games needs to be played. A very, very small portion of players, if any, are completing this badge. The description of the hub has been even updated to mention this. Again, they repeat that a single game out of 180 is not affecting the outcome. But it is, that's the problem. The outcome is much more dependent on the level of difficulty for other badges. As for the dev team, you can't blame us for getting a fun event for our players. We love our community and the quality of our gameplay, which is why we can't remove paid access. We have, however, lowered the game price to make it more accessible. The chosen lineup of games and event rules are obviously out of my control. I didn't know how the event would work when I submitted our game, nor did I know if Roblox was choosing any other paid games or not, and we still don't know. Please direct your concern to Roblox and not us. I've already voiced my concerns to the staff. Who knows, maybe they'll add in an extra game to compensate for AJ Striker. Have a great day and have fun in the event. But Roblox's critiques and people's critiques, the Roblox community, are, if Wild West went free last year, why can't they go free too? Wild West from this game gained a cult fan base of players and went back to being paid, and ultimately gained things from this, but also gained popularity. If Emergency Response Liberty County isn't forced to go free, isn't this a disservice to them, almost? Some people argue that they did this for the money and are greedy, which I won't argue since I don't want to put any insults against the developers. I want to respect them as people. By making the game paid, you will still have the large portion of players who won't be able to afford it at all. You can make it one Roblox and it won't reduce the accessibility by much. The way to say please direct your concerns to Roblox, some argue, is deflecting responsibility too. However, the situation is mainly Roblox's fault for allowing a paid game with paid visuals that generally affects the score by 1/12 of the game. Therefore, the game takes a good hour to complete and emergency response too. That way, making that less gains are bad that are gained, which tweets were purposely deleted by Fergie. Therefore, emergency response Liberty County's event response was supposed to be publicly accessible, and Roblox's response, the fault is mostly on Roblox, is 70-30 at this point, and the response to not handling the dislikes was not good at all, since dislikes are a natural part to being in a public event, and by not making the event public, it just puts the team at an advantage, which is not good. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in next week's video.